Every morning I wake up, go to the bathroom, get in front of the mirror, and I stare at myself. I spend at least a couple of minutes looking for things that are not okay. I look for imperfections. I look for what's considered ugly. I check how flat my belly is and whether my thighs are touching or not. Not appreciating myself, disliking the way I look, and judging my appearance is part of the routine. Growing up, I constantly felt the pressure to conform to society's beauty standards. I was bombarded with images of perfect bodies on magazines, movies, and on social media. I believed that my worth was directly tied to how closely I could match those standards. As a kid, I would always look up to adults and think that what an older person would do was right and that I should learn from them. But at school, at the pool, at my friends' houses, and even in my family, the adults around me were constantly talking about how they disliked their appearance, how they shouldn't have been on diets because they gained way too much weight over the holidays, how they should have put more makeup on that morning because their face was really uglier than usual. All of this was considered normal. All of this is considered normal. Diets that will make you lose weight in a really short time was a daily conversation between parents. But all of this is what caused me to have a mindset that was always orientated on the importance of my appearance. And since I was a little kid, I gave so much weight to that reflection in the mirror. So much that it brought me to starve myself until I didn't even have the energies to walk anymore. I was diagnosed with an eating disorder that took everything I cared about away from me. And all because I grew up with the idea that beauty equals skinny and fit. But this is not just my story. It's the story of countless individuals. The problem is that society has set unattainable beauty standards, and we're conditioned to judge ourselves and others based on these unrealistic ideals. The consequences are severe. Low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, eating disorders are just some of the consequences. We're drowning in a sea of self-doubt, never feeling good enough. But your worth is uncomparable. It's the key to your uniqueness. And understanding it and accepting it is the only way to true happiness and serenity. But I know that this is for sure much easier to say than to do. In fact, the hardest thing that I've ever had to do was to look at myself for 5 minutes in the mirror and list all the things that I liked about what I was seeing. Needless to say that I lasted barely 30 seconds. But it's not even what surprised me the most. No, what shocked me is that in my mind I thought, oh, come on, I mean, who am I to say that I'm beautiful? Like, wouldn't I sound cocky? Oh my God, Bea, you're such a narcissist sometimes. You know, it's frustrating to realize that when someone compliments themselves, they immediately appear annoying, irritating even. Why do we all see confidence as arrogance? This is part of the reason why I'm here. I want to normalize self-love and confidence. It's time to challenge the societal norms that hurt and sometimes even kill us. It's time to defy the beauty industry's narrative that makes us feel inadequate and the culture of comparison that chips away at our self-esteem. Let's recognize that true beauty isn't about conforming to an ideal. It's about embracing our unique qualities. And we should all be able to say in front of that mirror, God damn it, I look so good today. Normalizing hating yourself is wrong. Loving yourself shouldn't even be an option. It should be an obligation. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that diets or sports are bad or that they should be cancelled, but these shouldn't be associated as a way to get skinnier or prettier. They should only be used as a way to make your life healthier and more active. And no one should use makeup to cover their face. It should only be used to emphasize your natural, beautiful facial features. But I know that the hardest part comes when it's truly the time to accept who you are, to accept the reflection in the mirror that we so much criticize. So to help me, and hopefully all of you, to do this, I set a goal for myself, to practice self-affirmation, to replace self-criticism with self-compassion. I want to celebrate my body for what it can do, for what it allows me to do every day, not just for how it looks. But be aware, it's not just about self-love, it's also about spreading love to others. We may even live in an anti-utopia, but by the end of the day, we are the ones who make up our community. And so we do have the power to change it. Embrace the diversity of human bodies. Show empathy to those around you. Understand that we're all on our unique journeys, and someone's worth isn't determined by their appearance. But I do realize that this does sound kind of ironic. I mean, if you think about it, the modeling industry is made up of people who aim to perfection every day. The skinnier and prettier they are, the more they get paid. But our society cannot be a reflection of this toxic career path, which contributes to the very common belief that a beautiful person is one with the unrealistic body of the runways. If you want to live in a better world, then you've got to help to make it change it too. You know, I know this is gonna sound a bit of a cliche, but just like Martin Luther King does, I have a dream as well. I dream for a world where self-love is the norm. I dream for a world where we celebrate each other's differences. I dream for a world where we lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. I dream for a world where the mirror reflects our worth as unique and remarkable individuals. I dream for a world where beauty is much more than bodies. I dream for a world where we don't measure our value based on the number on a scale. This world is within our reach, and it starts with each and every one of us. So, I challenge you today, when you go back home, when you go into your bathroom and get in front of that mirror, I want you to look to yourself and say, I love me. But you gotta be honest with yourself. If we collectively reject the toxic narratives of the beauty industry and embrace the power of self-love, we can truly create a world that is beautiful, with its diversity and acceptance. Be the change you wish to see. And please, never ever forget this. You are beautiful and you deserve to be loved, from yourself especially. Thank you.